What's up, everyone? Welcome to a Thursday late night episode with the Niner Sickness on the Niner Sickness podcast. How's everybody doing? Hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. We're going to talk quarterback. We're going to talk Brock Purdy. We're going to talk Trevor Lawrence and the mega deal he got. What were the Jacksonville Jaguars thinking and paying all that money to Mr. Lawrence? Before we proceed, let me go and make sure I say hello to Jimmy. What's up, Jimmy? Jimmy's in the house. How you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Jimmy says, everyone, please smash that like button and subscribe to both channels. Daniel Burry Sports is in the house. What's up, Daniel Burry Sports? How you doing? Hi, everyone. Happy Thursday. And we got Jay in the house, or Joe. He says, chilling. What's up? What's up? Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is having a great day. We are about to have a great day. Thank you for shopping up. Hello, how you doing, sir? Aquilino Cruzada. I don't know if I misspelled or mispronounced your first name. I apologize. And we got Brizzo at Bang Bang Niner Gang. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I want to give a couple of shout outs before we get into the conversation of Trevor Lawrence. Whether you guys think he deserves the contract that he got or not, it's a huge contract, right? And let's be honest, other than being the first quarterback taken in the draft, Trevor Lawrence, what has he really done for the Jacksonville Jaguars? What has he done? Do you think he is worth that amount of money? But what can the Jaguars do? It's like back in 2018 when the Niners had Garoppolo. Garoppolo wasn't worth the $125 million they gave him. But the Niners were kind of stuck between a hard place and a rock and a hard place. And they paid Garoppolo and made him the highest paid quarterback at that time. And we all pass forward. We know that Garoppolo played well. He wasn't a bad quarterback. He wasn't great. But one of his biggest flaws was inability to stay healthy. But they paid him because the Niners didn't have a choice at the time. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars fall in the same category. They drafted Trevor Lawrence with their very first pick. They have developed him, and it was time to extend him. Now, whether people believe he deserves that amount of money or not, it's not for me or you to say. The Jaguars and their fan base, I've been watching a lot of reports of the fan base, and a lot of the fan base are not happy with an extension, but what can they do? So basically, the extension is a 5-year, $275 million contract extension. Contains $200 million guaranteed and $142 million fully guaranteed. This is where I want to focus a little bit on Trevor Lawrence, because we're going to talk about Brock Purdy and the situation the Niners are going to be in next offseason. The $275 million contract, it's a huge contract, right? But you got to look at it and break it down. What I'm looking at is the $142 million fully guaranteed. That is the number that I look at. What is the fully guaranteed money that a player is going to get in his contract? A lot of people look at the whole contract. Oh, $275 million. That's a lot of money. But you got to look at the 142 million. Now, I'm pretty sure that Jacksonville Jaguars are going to break that. They're going to break that amount in 5 years. So it can be a low hit against the cap. This is the way teams do it. You got my name right. Okay. Good to know. Thank you. Look who it is. It is Terror Dome in the house. What's up, Terror Dome? He's got great hair. You know what? For $275 million, 142 guaranteed, fully guaranteed, the dude is going to continue to have great hair. For sure. Give me 1 second, ladies and gentlemen, before we proceed. Charge. Where is that? All right, hold on, guys. All right, let's put Kiddo there for a minute. So, 142 million guaranteed. What were the numbers of Trevor? What was his numbers last year? How many playoff games has he won in his career since being drafted to the Jaguars? Trevor Lawrence was drafted 4 years ago. He's 24 out of Clemson. That whole batch of quarterbacks after Trevor, and some people will say even including Trevor, were not great picks. But Trevor Lawrence last year, he threw for 4,016 yards. His yards per attempt were 7.1. Attempt was 564. Completion was 370. He threw for 21 TDs and 14 interceptions. But what are the Jaguars supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? They can't let him go. They got to pay him. And I say all that to say this. Depending on what Brock Purdy does, I don't know if Brock Purdy's going to have the same numbers that he had in 2023. I think he's going to be a better quarterback in his decision making. Some of those throws that he hesitated to throw last year, I think he's going to throw those this year. He's going to let it rip. So, schematically on the field, I think Brock Purdy is going to be better. Are the numbers going to be as good as it was last year? Probably. Probably not. He had almost MVP numbers. Those are hard to come by. So when the discussion comes, let me ask you guys this in the comments. If we can be honest with one another. If Brock Purdy has similar numbers that he had in 2023, or he has better numbers in 2024, and they give him the bag of 300 plus million for a 5-year extension, how are you dealing with that? How are you guys dealing with the idea that Brock, based on what we've seen with the Jaguars, and I think Trevor Lawrence is getting about $55 million a year, if I'm not mistaken. What are you guys' thoughts about that? What are you guys' thoughts about that? If they give him the bag, is that something you guys will be able to swallow? Do you guys feel that Brock Purdy is the real deal? Or do you feel that Brock Purdy is good? He's better than what we thought he was going to be, but he's not that elite quarterback. You know, he's not your Patrick Mahomes, your Josh Allen, your Joe Burrows, your Justin Herberts, your Lamar Jacksons. I mean, what's a top 10 quarterback? A top 10 quarterback for me is you will your team to win. You do whatever in your power to help your team win. You make the players around you better. And you win games. Would it be nice if Brock Purdy was your typical prototype quarterback like Trevor Lawrence, 6'4", 230 plus pounds? But is that what makes a good quarterback? It makes a complete quarterback. But to me, a great quarterback is what's in between your ears. His anticipation throws, the way he reads defenses, the way he processes, the way he is able to look and see what the defense is doing and make adjustments. Those are the things that Brock Purdy provides for the Niners. He's calm, cool, and collective under pressure. He doesn't let defenders disrupt what he's trying to do. He's making his reads. His eyes down the field. If a defender's right here, he doesn't care. He knows he's going to get hit. But he's looking to let the ball go. Joey says, that's $300 million contract going to hit different next year. It's a possibility, guys. I mean, right now we're in the dilemma of Brandon Ayuk. How much is Brandon? The Niners offered him $26 million, so they say. People are saying that Brandon's camp, they want around the $30 million. Me personally, I think it's the fully guaranteed money that Brandon's looking for. I don't think Brandon can care less if he makes 30 or 26. How much of that are you going to give me fully guaranteed? I think the Niners, and I'm not the Niners, I'm not part of the organization, as we know. My perception is the Niners want to pay no more than 50 and fully guarantees. And I think that Brandon is looking somewhere around 60 to 75 million fully guaranteed. And I think there's where the discrepancy comes, is in the guarantee money. Now, I know a lot of Niner fans say, just pay him. The Niners can afford to pay Brandon Ayuk. Let's not kid ourselves. If the Niners attempted to see if Justin Jefferson was available for trade, if there's any truth that the Niners did their due diligence and sought out the possibility of getting Justin Jefferson, they can pay a receiver. Now, do they feel that Brandon Ayuk might not be worth what he might be worth somewhere else based on the system that is placed in San Francisco? Because we got to take that into consideration, right? We cannot look just as what the Niners want to pay based on what he's worth. I'm not taking nothing away from Brandon. He's an excellent receiver, a number one for sure. But what he's asked to do in this system, is he worth the amount of money that he's trying to get in this system? I'm not saying he's not worth it overall. I think Brandon Ayuk, get your money, whether it's here or somewhere else, get your bag. Because you can be an injury away from never playing again. So I'm good with him getting his bag. But the reality and the real question is, what he's seeking to get, is it worth paying for what we need him? Does he make the offense better? Absolutely. Are the Niners better with Brandon Ayuk in the roster? Absolutely. But what they require him to do, is he enough to get the money that he's demanding? Let's be honest. CMC had no guarantees, and they took care of his contract. Trent Williams is going to be taken care of as well. Now, I don't think that's nothing negative. I think that CMC getting a contract done and Big Trent, that lowers the cap, and it's more beneficial for someone like Brandon Ayuk. But are the Niners willing to give more money to a receiver that, even though he's a true number one, where does he fall in the pecking order here in San Francisco? Where does he fall? Is he the first guy they go to? I mean, you got CMC, you got Debo, you got George Kittle, you got Juwan Jennings. You now drafted Parcell and Cowie, although those guys are probably more for next year. Let's look at the picking order here in San Francisco under the system that Kyle developed. How much money do you guys feel that Brandon is worth in this system? Not as an individual, not as based on what he's done. And let's be honest, without being hateful, what has Brandon Ayuk really done? He's given us a 1 year, maybe a year and a half of good football. Yes or no? Since he was drafted, did he wow anybody? Now, I understand a lot of it's because of the system. A lot of it's because of Kyle. But has he wowed you like Justin Jefferson's wowed everybody in the league? Has he wowed you like Chase over there with Cincinnati has? So let me ask you guys a question. Let me propose a question to you guys because I want to keep you guys comment on the comments. If you put Brandon Ayuk with the Bengals, is he the number one or is he the number two? If you put him with Minnesota, is he the number one or is he the number two receiver? If we had gotten a better right tackle, I could have guaranteed Brock's numbers would. Oh, yeah, absolutely. No disagreement there. I mean, I understand what Kyle is thinking. Do I agree with it? Not all the time. Absolutely not. I understand that he believes that if we can get the ball out of Brock Purdy's hands quickly, give it to down the middle, give it to CMC, get it to Kittle, get it to Ayuk, get it to Debo, that helps out the offensive lineman. The faster you get the ball out of your hands, the better it is for your offensive lineman. But when receivers are not open and you got some good corners on the opposite defense you're facing, now that protection has to stand. You got to be able to protect. If Brock Purdy has to hold the ball longer than he wants to, how fast is McKivitz going to let the defender get by? It's Benford I forgot already his name. Number 74, Spencer Buford. How quick is he going to get burned? Feliciano kind of held his own. So if everything works according to Kyle's plan, and Brock Purdy is able to get the ball out precise, on time, and quick, then everything looks good. But the minute that he has to hold on to the ball, that's when you run into trouble with great pass rushers. Excuse me. That's when you run into trouble with great pass rushers. The market is the market. Give him the money. But are we talking about the market in general, or are we talking about what he provides here in San Francisco? So let me ask you something, Terradome. Let's be honest. If we were able to bring in Trent Williams for, say, right tackle, but that means we have to let go of Brandon Ayuk, would you be okay with it? Honest question. If we brought in a top-notch right tackle, Pro Bowl, All-Pro right tackle, and we had to move on from Brandon Ayuk, but we still have Debo, we got Parcells, we got Cowie, we got JJ, we got Kittle, we got CMC, would you be willing to depart from Ayuk? Or is Ayuk so effective and so good that you will tell me, nope, I don't care what position gets better, we do not let go of Ayuk? I would like to ask that question now, and I would love to see what your answer would be. Our O-line gets better, Brock will be better. I don't think we have seen the best of Brock. I'm with you. If Brock Purdy was able to have the numbers that he had last year without an offseason, the dude got hurt. The guy got hurt in the NFC Championship game. He had no offseason. He was rehabbing. Nobody knew if he was going to start week 1 against the Steelers. Nobody knew if he was going to be there and not come in into week 3, week 4, week 5. And the guy had a phenomenal year in 2023. Great numbers. Oh, MVP conversation. His first year as a quarterback without an offseason. Now he has a complete offseason to develop a rapport with his playmakers. How is he going to get worse? How is he going to get worse? He did what he did without an offseason, and now he has an offseason to do things. What's up, Crazy Juice is in the house. BA, he deserves the money. I'm not saying he doesn't. Please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying he's not worthy of the money that he's seeking to get. Brandon Ayuk is worth every penny. But is he worth that amount of money for what we ask him to do in this offense? I'm not saying he isn't. I'm not saying he is. I'm trying to get your guys' thought process on it. What's up, Kenny? Boom. Tough acting tonight. Oh, man, that reminds me so much of the great rest in peace, Mr. John Madden. Nobody can say as good as he did. The ideal situation was to have won 3 Super Bowls at this point and let some of those high contract players walk. And that's the goal for every team every year. Whether it happens is a completely different. Hey, listen. The Niners had the opportunity to draft they had the chance to draft Patrick Mahomes, and they blew it. Process of elimination, right? If Patrick Mahomes wasn't on the Kansas City Chiefs, the Niners would have won the Super Bowls. Yes or no? So by drafting Patrick Mahomes, I think the Niners would have had 2 Super Bowls already. Process of elimination, right? You take away Patrick Mahomes from Kansas City, and how good will Patrick Mahomes be under Kyle? Don't get me wrong, Andy Reid is one heck of a coach. As an overall coach, Andy Reid is one heck of a coach. But Kyle, with that genius mind and play calling, with Patrick Mahomes. Now, we got Brock Purdy. We're moving forward. That's the reality of it. But I'm just saying, you remove Holmes from Kansas City, do we win those Super Bowls? I think yes. You're saying yes and absolutely. I'm not quite that's the answer to my question. So if we get a top all-pro, first-team pro tackle at the right position, you'll be okay with letting Ayuk go. So Ayuk is expendable, right? Now, let me ask you a question. If you got a right tackle, all pro, at this point, would you let go of CMC? Would you trade CMC for the opportunity to bring a top-notch tackle at the right position? We are great. We are great at right tackle and center. You mean left tackle, I think. We are a great right tackle. Oh, no, okay, let me finish reading. My apologies. We are a great right tackle and center away from conquering a Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. If Feliciano doesn't get hurt, we had a chance. I'm not saying Feliciano's a great guard by any stretch of the imagination, but he was handling himself. The minute he went down, Spencer Burford just and Chris Jones came through unevaded. If Drake Greenlaw doesn't have that freaking fluke of an injury, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it a buck. Travis Kelce was not doing nothing prior to that injury. The only thing that Travis Kelce was doing was yelling at his coach, acting like a freaking. But the minute that Greenlaw went down, number 48, what was his name? He's no longer with us, the other linebacker. He just could not keep up. And then you start seeing Travis go to work. If the muff punt didn't happen, do we win the Super Bowl with the offensive line that we have right now? I'm not saying that we shouldn't improve the offensive line. I am all for improving the offensive line. Most definitely. But we did get to the Super Bowl. And yes, that blown play by Spencer Burford on Chris Jones was terrible. But if those things didn't happen, if the fluke injury didn't happen to Drake Greenlaw, if the muff punt didn't happen, if Feliciano doesn't get hurt, we might have a different discussion right now with the same offensive line. What's up, David McNiner's in the house? How you doing, David? Good to see you. He says, what's up, Beto and the Niner Empire? What's up, brother? Always a pleasure seeing you. Drat Mahomes, we got solid. Yeah. I mean, listen, I don't want to sound like I'm that guy, okay? I don't want to be that guy. What do I mean by that guy? I don't want to be that guy that sounds like he's kissing the ass of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. I don't want to be that guy. But I'm going to keep it a buck. And it might make me sound like I'm a kiss ass. So be it. But if we can be honest, I mean, you still got to do your due diligence. I understand. But that was the year that Kyle was the offensive coordinator in a Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons, coming off a loss. He came late to the Niners organization because of that. He started to build his coaching staff. They had to hire a general manager. They came together. They came late to to the dance that year in 2017 due to the Super Bowl. I kind of it sucks that we didn't get Mahomes. And let's keep it real. I don't even think Kansas City knew they were getting the Mahomes they got. Deshaun Watson was more college-proved quarterback. He has won back-to-back championships in Clemson. Patrick Mahomes was all right. He was okay, but he wasn't wowing a lot of people in college. Patrick Mahomes was not doing what he's doing today in Kansas City in college. But they got him. So, do I wish they would have gotten Mahomes? Absolutely. I would even been happy with Deshaun Watson. Now, the Solomon Thomas, I never liked because you already had Eric Armstead. So, but I'm assuming John Lynch went for him because he trusted him, not trusted him, but he felt comfortable with him because he went to Stanford and John is from Stanford. He met him at Stanford and it was their first draft. And they made some very bad mistakes in drafting Solomon Thomas. But I do understand the idea, whether people want to agree with it or not. Kyle is coming into a new organization, a first-time head coach, all right, a first-time head coach, and he's trying to figure out which direction to build this team. And he has been confident and he's trusted Kirk Cousins. He has coached Kirk Cousins and he felt, whether we agree with him or not, he felt that Kirk Cousins was the best chance to get him a ring in San Francisco. Now, the mistake is the Patriots called the Niners and they traded for Jimmy Garoppolo. That's where the whole monkey wrench got thrown into the whole problem. They would have pursued Cousins that offseason if they wouldn't have gotten Garoppolo. Whether Kirk Cousins is better or not, I'm not disputing that. I don't think he's an elite quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. Would he have done better than Jimmy Garoppolo? Absolutely. Would he have won us a Super Bowl? I don't know. But I think that was a mind process of Kyle coming into this new organization, first-time head coach, first-time general manager, trying to assess the whole situation. Go with something you know. We all do that. We all like to play things safe. It's easy for us to say, well, he should have went for this quarterback. He should have never went for Kirk Cousins. He should have tried to, he should have got Mahomes. But the guy was, and I'm not making excuses for Kyle. But I understand from a business standpoint that he was trying to figure out the best way to win and win quick. Because we all know the NFL stands for what? Not for long. If you don't win games right away, your chances of sustaining a career in the NFL are not great. So what gets you to a point of winning game? Maybe someone you're already familiar with, someone you trust, someone like Kirk Cousins, whether he's the great fit or not. Whether you like Kirk Cousins or you don't, Kyle felt comfortable at least giving him a shot. I mean, for God's sake, he brought Brian Hoyer. Don't forget about that fool. I think now Kyle finally has found his quarterback. Brock Purdy can finish the sentence that Kyle starts, in my opinion. I think the things we're going to see this year. Now, does Kyle need to continue to learn how to let his pride go? Absolutely. Does he need to run the ball more when he throws the ball more in the Super Bowl? Absolutely. But let's keep it 100%. That Super Bowl loss last year was not all on Kyle. It wasn't. Ooh, hold on real quick. Let me go to this channel here. All pro call a right tackle and let Ayuk walk. I would be good with it. So that brings in my point. I love Ayuk. I think Ayuk is wonderful. I don't want him to go nowhere. I would love the Niners to sign him. I think the Niners will sign him at the end. He will be part of this organization. At least fingers crossed. I think he's very vital to what the Niners need to do this year to try to go out and win one. But if you get a tackle, right now a team said, I'll give you our best tackle for Brandon Ayuk, a lot of you will be okay with that. But if somebody said, we'll give you a top right tackle, but we want Brock Purdy, would you be willing to let go of Brock Purdy for an all-pro right tackle? I wouldn't. But we'll do it for Brandon. Feliciano and Greenlaw, don't get hurt. Yeah, Greenlaw was covering Travis all day. And that was a fluke of an injury, man. Talk about luck. People say there's no luck. There's no luck in football. Hogwash. There's good and there's bad luck in football. Luck takes place in football. Greenlaw was just running back into the field right next to Fred Warner, and boom, he goes down. Feliciano gets hurt, and Spencer Burford has to come in. What's up, King Mufafa? Did I say that right? Hold on. Mufasa, yeah. Welcome, brother. Make sure to hit the like button. If you guys haven't done that already, make sure to hit the like button for me and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. And if you're watching me from Facebook, it takes nothing but a second. It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of your time. Make your way over to YouTube, subscribe to my channel, hit the like button. I would truly appreciate that. And hit the notification bell so that you will be notified each time we go live. Yes, Niners would have won 3 Super Bowls by now. I do believe Mahomes, with the defense and all the weapons, I do believe we win 3 Super Bowls with Mahomes. At least he wouldn't have beaten us with Kansas City if he wasn't on that team. So, man. Feliciano at center, Pooney at right guard, and let Burford and McKivitz compete. I can't even trust Spencer Burford at guard. Do you really want to trust him at tackle? He played like crap at guard. Do you really want him to get anywhere near the right tackle position, David? I don't know, man. That scares me. He has almost 20 turnovers. Quarterback was trash. The Rams love Mahomes. Well, they didn't love him when he was playing against Tom Brady. When he played against Tom Brady, they loved Tom Brady just a little bit more. I don't disagree with you, Kenny. Do not disagree with you. I kind of had the feeling Andy Reid told Kelsey he ain't getting the ball until second half because of his behavior during the Super Bowl. All I know is this. I understand Your emotions are riding high. I understand that you're competitive and your blood is rushing to your head, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, you are a professional. You are a role model. Kids are watching you. And you were a spoiled brat, Kelsey. When things were not going your way, you sit there and you had a tantrum with your head coach. You were having a tantrum because the head coach didn't allow you to play. That's a bad, bad sign. I feel sorry for Taylor Swift. I really do. Wait until Taylor says, you ain't getting this, kitty. He's going to have a tantrum. Oh, my goodness. Those two belong together. What's up, Chris? How you doing, sir? Hanson, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. Kyle can't pick burgers. Oh, man. It's hard to argue that with you, Terradome. It's hard to argue that. Mahomes is lucky. He landed with the Chiefs. Well, the Chiefs did go up and get him. You know what? As a quarterback, sometimes not only if you're great, it also depends where you go, right? I don't think Kyle Williams or not Kyle. I keep calling him Kyle, but his name is Caleb. I don't think Caleb Williams was all that at USC. He's not bad, but he's definitely going into a good situation with the Bears. He is going to one. I mean, the Bears got what's the name from the Chargers, the receiver. They got the receiver when they did the trade with Carolina. They drafted another receiver. They got a good running back. They're building the defense. He is definitely going to a good situation. So, like Patrick Mahomes, he went into a great place. But Patrick Mahomes, I'm going to keep it real. This guy can win anywhere. I think Patrick Mahomes can win in any team, unless you're the Jets or the Raiders or the Cowboys, because little Jerry Jones doesn't let you be who you want to be. I am an Oklahoma Sooner fan. Baker. Oh, man, Bosa. You got to love Bosa. Baker Mayfield was Patrick Mahomes in college. Mahomes' arm strength was without question. Check. I'm with you. I'm not saying Patrick Mahomes was trash. I'm not saying he was trash. But let's be honest, bro. If I asked you, and I'll believe what you say. If Patrick Mahomes today was what you thought he would be coming out of college, would you would have said yes? Or you would have said, he would have been okay. Let's keep it 100. He's turned out better than Deshaun Watson. And Deshaun Watson had to do a lot with his injury and that whole scandal that went down with the Pollars and the women and stuff that he went through. Because I'm not going to lie, he was playing good football with the Texans. Talk about the Texans, man. They got a good quarterback. I think C.J. Stroud is the real deal. How bad is it for the Carolina Panthers, man? I'm happy for C.J., though. He went to a better situation with the Texans than he would have been if he would have went to the Panthers. And I feel bad for Bryce Young. Bryce Young is not a bad quarterback. He's not C.J. Stroud, but man, did he go to a terrible situation with Carolina. Imagine Bryce Young going to the Bears with what the Bears have right now. How much of a difference he would be there. Cousins didn't seem to be a lock to get him on. No, but they would at least attempted to try to pry him away from Minnesota. They could have tried something. I still think that if Kyle would have came in and with a full offseason, he would have got hired. He would have got hired early February, or March or March. He would have came in and did his thing. But the whole Super Bowl, or even prior to that, right after the last game of in December, especially if he didn't make the playoffs or whatever. I think the fact that he came to San Francisco as late as he did, I'm not making no excuses. I still wish he would have had scouting looking at quarterbacks. I mean, it's neither here or there, but imagine. And this is not a shot to Brock Purdy. I love Brock Purdy. But imagine if the Niners would have taken Patrick Mahomes. Now, let me ask you a question, though. Let me ask you a sincere question. If Patrick Mahomes would have been drafted to the 49ers by this time in his career, would he have had 3 championship rings as he does with Kansas City? Can someone be 100% real with me in the chat? If Patrick Mahomes would have came to the Niners instead of going to the Kansas City Chiefs, would he have had 3 Super Bowl wins already? Or maybe more? I'm curious to know. Do you think Mahomes would have performed the same as okay, look at this. Great minds think perform the same if he was drafted by the Bears, not the Niners. Okay. Patrick Mahomes can do it. That guy is special. He is. If you send him to the Bears right now, or if Patrick Mahomes would have went to the Bears with what the Bears have, oh, hell yeah. Now, I'm not a big fan of their coach, Eberflus, whatever his name is. I think he fell in a better situation with Andy Reid. But talent on a roster, what he went to in Kansas City was not as good as what the Bears have right now, talent-wise. Coach, different. Yes, trade BA for a right tackle. Different position, Beto. I know I'm hear you. I hear you. I'm just conversating. I hear you, bro. Greenlaw hopped for no reason. Weird stuff. That was a bizarre injury, man. That was a freaking bizarre injury. No bueno. I don't know about you, but when I seen Greenlaw go down, it felt like my heart was yanked out of my chest. Didn't it feel that way? When he went down, I just felt like everything paused. Like the whole game just went, and it just paused. And slowly it began to unravel. And you're like, oh, shit. Here we go. Here we go. Or was it just me? Was that just me when Greenlaw went down? Or do you feel like everything stopped at a dime? Let me know in the comments. If the offense was Formula One race car, the O-line is the engine, but the quarterback is the driver. No, I'm with you. I know that I shouldn't have even thrown Brock as a trade for a tackle because you can have the best body, low-profile tires, best rims, best body car, but if you don't have the right engine, or even the best engine, but if you don't have a good driver, it's meaningless, right? So I'm with you, Terradome. I am with you 100%.
That is the correct answer.
What's up, David Villa in the house? How you doing, sir? Make sure, guys, to hit the like button for me. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. If you're watching me from Facebook, a lot of you are watching me from Facebook. I just want to give a real quick shout. I should have done this in the beginning of the video, but then you know me, I start getting carried away and conversate with you guys. You guys are awesome. You know that saying, you try when you're looking for something, you never find it. But when you're not looking for it, it's always popping and hitting you in the face, so to speak. Oh, yeah. But I want to give a shout out. On last Saturday, I went to our first 209 first 49er barbecue, and it was hosted. And I don't want to screw up the name, so I want to. You know what? Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Hold on. I don't want to screw up the name, so I'm trying to make sure I find it correctly because I don't want to screw it up. You know how that goes. You say the wrong name, even though you mean well. By the way, I met Eye of the Tiger. I met him. Oh, shoot. Don't call him. What are you doing? Now I hope you don't think I try to call him. I met him, Eye of the Tiger. Great guy, man. I wrote his name down. His name is slipping my mind. Great guy. Really have fun talking to him. Met him at the 49er barbecue. Wow, when you're trying to find some... here we go. Let's see if I wrote it down here. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Elias G. from the 209 Fam Niner Empire. THA 209 Fam Niner Empire. He is the president of the chapter, the 209 chapter here, one of the 209 chapters here in Modesto and the Silicon Valley area surroundings. And I met him for the first time this past Saturday. I wanted to give him a shout out. Next week, I'm going to give this other guy a shout out. His name is Jason. But great guys, man. Great guys. Had a blast at the barbecue. I posted pictures on X. Love hanging out with the familia. But I wanted to give him a huge Elias G shout out here on the Niner Sickness Podcast. No Chief versus Tampa Bay Super Bowl. Mahomes had injured back. Yeah, and he had no offensive line either. But the referees did help, nevertheless. TB. When a guy blocks a person on your own team instead of the opposing player, that man can never participate in a game again. Period. Dang, Kenny. No mercy. No mercy for the weary. Burford had a sophomore slump. I hope so. Listen, I'll criticize a player based on what they've shown me, but I'm always someone that is always positive with any player wearing the red and gold. If you are still part of the 49ers, I will give you props. I would hope for the best. When Sam Darnold was on the team last year, I know he wasn't good, but I wish he played well. If he had to play, I'll be rooting for him. Why? Not because I'm a fan of him, but I'm a fan of him being a Niner. So now that he's with the Vikings, he's sorry like he always was. But I'm always going to support the player if you're wearing the red and gold, regardless if he's popular or not. Does it mean that I believe in you? No. But do I support you? Yes. Would I be wishing you to do good while you're here? Absolutely. Salah's days are numbered. It doesn't help that Aaron Rodgers decided to go to the movies. I don't know if it was the movies. I'm just saying it. But decided to go to the movies instead of going to mandatory minicamp. I understand minicamp is nothing. He's a vet. But what message is he sending to the young players? It's all about leadership. And listen, if in my opinion, if Aaron Rodgers had to be somewhere that the Jets felt that it was important, like a wedding, a graduation, or God forbid, a funeral, they would have not said it is an unexcused absent. The fact that Robert Saleh he wasn't even questioned, I think, and he said it was an unexcused absent and that he was going to get fined. Why say that? Because in my mind, Robert Saleh and the general manager, they know their butt is on the line. There are a few games away of not even finishing 2024 season with the Jets. And here you got your quarterback that you gave an arm and a leg to go get to keep you safe at that position that you're at, decides he don't want to come to mandatory minicamp because he has somewhere better to be. It's just a mess over there in the world of the Jets. It's a mess. That's why that organization will never win a Super Bowl anytime soon. You got that right, Kenny. What up, buddy? Niners for life, por vida, siempre para todo, until the hot cups fall off. Bryce Young is down here running for his life because of the offensive line. Horrible. I'm in Carolina, that's right. I talk to the fans and watch local news. I feel bad for Bryce Young. I really do. I feel bad for him. It sucks. But it is what it is. I think if he would have went to the Bears, the way the Bears are today, watch out. Watch out. Only 5 head coaches won their first Super Bowl before 6 years in the league. It's hard to win a Super Bowl. Listen, Andy Reid finally has 3 Super Bowls. And good for him. But how many years did he go making it to the big game, making it to the playoffs, winning a lot of regular season games, making it to the championship and losing, going to the Super Bowl and lost? Sound familiar? But Andy Reid finally found his quarterback. And once he found his quarterback, Andy Reid began to win Super Bowls. Kyle has finally found his quarterback and Brock Purdy. Do I wish Brock Purdy would have had the body of Trey Lance? Absolutely. But I think that Brock Purdy and Kyle is a great match in San Francisco. But let me tell you, based on what the money that was given to Trevor Lawrence, is Trevor Lawrence ever going to be better than Brock Purdy? Yes, I said that. I don't think Trevor Lawrence will be better than Brock Purdy when it's all said and done. But he has that typical prototype body. He's that Weddle with the blonde hair, Mr. Fabio, popular in college, popular in high school, number 1 pick, 6'4". I'm assuming he's 6'4". What is his height? Let me stop making it up. Okay. Oh, my apologies. 6'4". He's like, that's short. He's 6'6", 220 pounds. 6'6", 220 pounds quarterback. And I think Brock Purdy, to this point, is already better than Trevor Lawrence. And if Trevor Lawrence gets paid what he got paid, you don't think that Brock is going to get paid that next year, whether you want it or not? I still keep hearing Niner fans. Well, I don't think they should pay him no more than $35 million a year. Maybe 40. Why? Because he's not that Jamar. He's not a Jamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson. He's not your Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback, but he's always hurt. How good is he if he's always hurt? Josh Allen, great size, can run the ball, can win you by running, can win games by throwing the ball. What's his success in the playoffs? Has he even been to a championship game? He hasn't been to a Super Bowl. Lamar is 1-3 in the Super Bowl. Trevor Lawrence is 1-1. And Brock Purdy's 4-2. 4-2. And has been to 2 NFC championship games, lost one because of injury, and won the one where he was healthy. And then lost in the Super Bowl. And mind you, he did not lose that game or even help to lose that game against Kansas City. So Brock Purdy is not your typical type of quarterback. He doesn't have that arm strength, which it's crazy to even say or mention. I think Brock Purdy, if he continues to have another year like he had last year, his decision-making, his anticipation, the way he processes. I mean, people don't realize as a quarterback, that is a freaking cape right there. The ability to process. I don't care how big Jamarcus Russell was. The dude couldn't process shit. He had the height, he had the body, but he couldn't process. He couldn't get, his anticipation wasn't good. His accuracy was for shit. We can't forget that Brock Purdy, the kid is special, man. The kid is special. He throws the ball with anticipation. His accuracy is great. His quarterback rating is great. He wins games. He's not fear of getting hit. He doesn't turn into a little sissy like Garoppolo. Or who was the one that saw, which quarterback is the one that said, oh my God, when they saw Aaron Donald come his way? Was that Geno Smith? Please let me know. Remember that scene they had? I think it was Geno Smith with the Seahawks. When Aaron Donald came untouched, he's like, oh my God. Now, if I can be honest with you, if Aaron Donald was coming my direction, I probably would have put in my pants. But I'm not Brock. Hey, what's up, David Corona? David Corona's in the house. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Good to see you. So listen, Trevor Lawrence got paid $275, but the fully guarantee was $142 for the next 5 years. He's getting about $55 per year. Brock Purdy, I know we don't have to worry for another offseason, but if Brock Purdy has something similar, if not better, with a complete offseason in 2024, and Niner fans are wishing that the Niners can get him at the $35 to $40 million per year, please stop lying to yourself. If he wins a lot of games, if he gets us to the playoffs again, the kid is going to want to get paid. And rightfully so. Rightfully so. It's worth for him getting paid. It was Geno Smith, huh? That's right. Yeah, that was funny. Oh my God. He's like,
oh my God. Is that Aaron Donald?
Pinchy Geno Smith. If we got production from last year's draft class in this year's draft class, we can slowly let these high contracts walk. Listen, one thing I hate about the damn Rams, can't stand the Rams. They won a Super Bowl at our expense, and that sucks. They didn't play a Patrick Mahomes, though. They didn't play an Andy Reid. Keep that in mind. But you get who you get, and you got to beat who you can beat. They lost a lot of players due to salary cap hell. And now they're drafting. And they're drafting pretty good. I did not expect the Rams to have as many wins last year as they did. They did surprise me. Now, I don't like them, but I'm a football fan first. I can get proper's due. Doesn't mean I have to like it. I can't stand the Celtics being 3-0 in the finals, coming from a Laker fan. This finals sucks. I don't like Texas teams, but I was hoping that Luka and company can Tyree, what's his name? I was saying Tyrese, but not Tyrese. You know who I'm talking about. We'll give them some type of competition, and they haven't. But I can't sit there and take away from what the Celtics has done. But 2024 still belongs to the Niners. We're still going to win the division. The Rams will be smelling our canzones because they'll be beneath us in this year. Brock Purdy's the real deal. Brandon Ayuk will get signed. Don't worry. Brandon Ayuk will get signed. He'll be a Niner for a long time. The Niners, for whatever reason, they don't sign their players until late July, early August. It is like a tradition for them under this administration. Nick Bosa, arguably one of the best, if not top 3 edge rushers in the NFL. The biggest contract in 49er history until they pay Brock. That's going to change next year. But they got him signed. They got Debo. Debo wanted to get traded to go to Disneyland. And he got signed. They signed Warner. They signed Bosa. They signed Kittle. They take care of their own. We just got to continue to be patient. The social media, the media, this person says this, that person says that. Oh my God, Ayuk wants too much money. Oh my God, we're not going to build. Are we going to have to sign him? Is he going to play under his 5th-year option? Are we going to have to tag him next year? It's only the 13th of July. I'm tired of the drama. Brandon, this is the reality, whether we want to hear it or not. Brandon Ayuk is either going to sign a big contract or he's going to play on his 5th-year option, and the Niners may or may not tag him next year. We're going to have to wait and see. Do I want Brandon Ayuk to be here? Yes. Am I confident the Niners can do it? Yes. A big shout out to Brad from SF Niners. He was able to verify it under, I guess, a new account from Brandon Ayuk that had a quote from Brandon that this is where he wants to be. His home is here. His life is here. He wants to play for the 49ers going beyond next year. Or this season, excuse me. They'll get it done. Look at with Bosa. They were going back and forth with Bosa. No, we don't want to give you this much. Bosa's give me this much. We don't want to give you. At the end of the day, as close as we got to the season, the Niners needed to buck. I think it'll be the same way with a Uke. Now, to me, ideally, it's better to get a Uke sooner rather than later because you continue to have to develop that rapport with Brock. Yes, they had a great connection last year, but that was last year. Last year doesn't mean nothing. They got to build that rapport once again this year. Will it happen? I hope it will. Do I think it will happen? Yes, I do. We're just going to have to wait to see if it does. Hey, guys, remember real quick, make sure to wipe your feet before entering and hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Hit the notification bell. You will be notified. If you're watching me on YouTube, great. If you're watching me on Facebook, whether it's the group, whether it's my page on Twitter or formerly known Twitter, but now X, Instagram, take a moment of your time. It doesn't cost you anything financially, but a little bit of your time. Help me out by going to YouTube, subscribing to my channel, hitting the like button and the notification bell, and support your boy. It was fun talking 49er football, ladies and gentlemen. Brock Purdy's going to get paid. Brandon Ayuk will be here for a long time. The Niners just love to make us sweat. But we have a great roster. We're going to win a lot of games in 2024. Let's hope that we get to the Super Bowl once again. Eric, I see you there, my friend. I caught you coming late. Thank you for popping in, brother. Love you, bro. Stay faithful and always go Niners. I am your boy, Niner Sickness. Until then, God bless. Have a wonderful night, and we'll chat soon. Peace. Go Niners.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.